That's when everything changed. My energy, my business, my relationships, everything started to go in a forward motion and everything started to gain momentum. And I started to see life in a totally different picture.
Yo, Big D in the house, baby. Relentless execution, you already know. This is for the dream chasers, the grinders, the doers. Let's get it. Relentless execution, we don't ever stop. Climbing to the top, we rise like a rocket. Big D's the name, yeah, I'm running the game. From the ground up, now they all know the name. Big D.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Big D Podcast. This is episode number 54. Today we're going to talk about why weak men are destroying the world and why we need stronger men today more than ever. So welcome back to the Big D Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Sachkowsky, and if you've been with me for a while, you already know what this show stands for. Wealth, freedom, and relentless execution. Wealth is all about building real financial power that creates freedom. Freedom is about owning your own time, your direction, and your purpose. And relentless execution is doing what others won't when others won't as well. So before I dive in, guys, make sure that you're subscribed. Subscribe now. YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen. Like, share, drop a review. That's how we grow this movement. Now I want to talk to you about what's next. 2026 is not just another year. 2026 is a year of expansion, leadership, and domination. That's why I created two programs that are going to be transforming entrepreneurs in such a way with such solid growth. The seven-figure Mastermind, seven-figure syndicate Mastermind, what this is going to be is a one-year experience with live events, virtual sessions, and real accountability to build your business, your mindset, and your network. This is going to be one in New Jersey and one in Florida. We're going to get together live every quarter. It's going to be a small core group of people. And the months that we don't get together, we're going to do a Zoom. But we're going to get together live for 4 days over the 1 year period for one whole day each time in New Jersey and in Florida. Two different masterminds that we're going to be having. Also, the Blueprint Scale Syndicate. This is going to be for entrepreneurs who are already doing 500,000 plus and are ready to 3x their business over the next 12 months. I'll guarantee a 3x in your business, and I'll show you how to become the CEO outside of that employee and major employee trap that you're sitting in right now. If you're ready to take 2026 serious, go to dansakowski.com or bigdcoaching.com and let's get to work. Now let's get into it. I'm going to be totally brutally honest on this episode, as I always am. We're living in an era today with weak men, and it's destroying every single thing that matters. Weak men are everywhere, behind the wheel, in the boardrooms, in homes, in schools. They're folding under pressure every single day. They chase comfort over character. They avoid leadership. They avoid responsibility. They avoid the pain of life. And those exact ingredients are what actually makes strong men. And this isn't just a personal issue anymore. It's actually a cultural crisis that we have going on. Families are collapsing because men stop leading. Businesses are collapsing because men stop taking ownership. Society is collapsing because men stop standing for anything and everything that matters. So we've raised a generation of boys where they've never been tested. They've never been challenged. Everyone gets a trophy. They've never been held accountable. They've never had to go out there and actually fight. And now they're men, or so-called men, that can't really carry the weight of life. This episode is not about shaming. It's about truth. Because the world doesn't need more comfort. It needs more courage. The world doesn't need more followers. It needs more leaders. The men out there who are making things happen are far and few between. We need men who stand up, not men who bend in, and men who are weak and men who give up and just fall into a place where they don't feel strong enough to make it through. Let's talk about the cost of being a weak man. Weak men create crazy ass chaos, guys. They run from responsibility, so someone else has to pick up their slack. Excuse me. That at home, in their life, if they're married with their wife, in business, with their team, every single thing that matters, they run from responsibility and they hide behind the wall. In life, that's not a way to live. And being a part of society and being a weak man like that, you're destroying so many things about your values and what you're trying to teach your children as well. So weak men, they avoid pain. And by avoiding pain, this never allows you to grow. Every time, something gets uncomfortable, they quit. Relationships get tough. They leave, businesses, they leave jobs, they leave opportunities because they're in a panic, because they actually have to face something. These aren't the men that are supposed to be leading the world. These are the men who are actually letting the world crumble. When life gets heavy, these guys go out there and they hide. Weak men, what they actually do is they crave approval. They want to be liked more than they want to be respected. The chase for validation instead of building and bringing real value to the marketplace. And here's the brutal truth that weak men don't just hurt themselves. They destroy every single thing they touch. They raise sons who don't fight through adversity. They raise sons who don't go out there and actually challenge themselves. They raise daughters who grow up, not trusting men for the right reason and not understanding what a man really is. They run teams with tons of lack of respect, and they run businesses that totally crumble under pressure. So you want to see the result of weak leadership, you just have to look around the world and look around what's going on right now. Society is built in comfort, instant gratification, and excuses that people live on every day. But you can't build a legacy on comfort. You build it on character. You build it on what you represent and what you bring and what you actually show the world that you can do. I know because I lived on both sides of it, and I'm telling you, there wasn't always the person I am today. I wasn't always the man I am today. There was a time where I was tired, I was reactive, I was angry, trying to prove my worth, trying to prove my dignity, trying to prove every single value that I felt I was supposed to prove instead of proving my strength, which was really going to bring me to that place where I needed to be. So trying to prove all these other things in my life, but not really being the strongest man I was supposed to be. I thought leadership meant working harder than everyone else. I thought being strong meant, holding it all in. I thought providing meant sacrificing everything, even myself. So in 2022, I had a heart attack, and I'm going to tell you, that was my wake-up call. Like, I was already a strong man, and I came out of this thing that I thought I was supposed to be many, many years ago. But after that heart attack in 2022, I'm telling you right now, man, that was my wake-up call. Because it wasn't just my health that was weak. It was my mindset that wasn't as strong as it should be. I wasn't teaching my kids everything I should have been doing. I wasn't showing up to the world the way I was supposed to be showing up. I built my life around hustle, not around health, around output, not balance. And that totally destroyed me. And when I made this shift, I'm going to tell you right now, I stopped chasing validation. I started chasing discipline. I talk so much about discipline and how it's a major part of what we do and who we become. I stopped trying to be liked by everybody. I started being respected by the ones that mattered. I stopped leading by volume and started leading by example. I got back to the gym. I was already going to the gym, but I got back in full control. Everything I needed to be, working on myself, developing my muscles again in a place where I needed to be, my mental clarity, and just using the gym as an outlet, but also building it to my best self. I took myself back into control and started being the man in my family that, my kids could look up to, my sons were following, and making sure I was a respecter of that place and also the best teacher in that space, right? So by doing all that, that's when everything changed. My energy, my business, my relationships, everything started to go in a forward motion and everything started to gain momentum. And I started to see life in a totally different picture. I learned at that point that strength was not built in comfort. It was actually built in chaos. I didn't find power by avoiding pain. I find it by facing pain and going through all the things, all the challenges, and everything that was showing up in my life day in and day out. So people often ask me, like, how did you fix it? What did you do? How do I rebuild myself? Or how do you go out there and rebuild strong men in a weak world? Well, that's a good question. I actually created a 5-pillar framework that I live by and I teach every man that I coach, which is super important to go out there and build the person and be the person that they're supposed to be instead of just showing up weak every single day. Hey guys, quick interruption to the show. We have Joe and Micah here from Ability Tree. Joe, why don't you share with us what you do at Ability Tree?
Hey, yeah, thank you, Dan. So we come alongside families impacted by disability by providing rest, recreation, education, support, and training, basically bringing families impacted by disability out of isolation into community.
Awesome. Hey guys, after this video, you're going to see a link in the caption. Make sure you check out Ability Tree and check out his mission here with Micah. Awesome. So the 5-pillar framework, the first thing we have to do is we have to take ownership. We have to take ownership. No excuses, no blame. Everything in your life you have to own. Your finances, your fitness, your relationship, all this stuff is your responsibility. The second thing was, and this is huge, we have to embrace hard. It's uncomfortable. It's worth doing. Every time you choose to be comfortable, you're weak. You weaken yourself. You weaken your potential. But every time you choose to challenge yourself, you actually build strength. And that's where the real man comes from. The third thing was lead with vision. So a man without direction is a man without purpose. You need a target. You need to know where you're going. Something that wakes you up every day, drives you every day. Something that's way bigger than comfort that's going to take you and your family to the places that you deserve. The fourth thing was protect and provide. It's not about money. It's not just about making an income or, being able to provide financially. Everyone thinks like, what can I do to be the best provider financially? How much can I bring to the table? You have to make money secondary. You have to show up at your best. You will always get paid for your value as long as your value is as high as the hour. It's about what you bring to the table. It's about energy. It's about presence. It's about leadership. Your family doesn't just need a paycheck. They need your strength. They need your peace. And they need your example of what a real man is supposed to show up in this world and look like. And the fifth pillar was build brotherhood. This is huge. Lone wolves die tired, right? You need men in your corner, people who push you, hold you accountable, and remind you that who you are so that when you forget, you're being reminded by these other strong men that are in your corner. That's why I built a 7-figure syndicate mastermind. It's not just a coaching platform for business. It's a brotherhood. It's men sharpening men, iron sharpening iron, and men out there being able to lead. Excuse me. Are there going to be women that, can enter the mastermind? Absolutely. But women that are in business, strong women like to be around strong men because high achievers raise high achievers to higher standards. And people who are strong continue to be strong together. But my whole basis around being a strong man, because I'm a father, I know the example of what you have to do, how you have to show up, and where you need to be. So I lead as a strong father, and I want to bring other men and show them all the strength that they have inside them to be their absolute best. And again, I've seen this work over and over again. I've watched men come into my coaching program who were totally broken. They were overworked. They were disconnected. They were on the edge. Some of these guys, they were at the end of their rope. And within months, they started to stand taller. They led stronger. They were leading freer lives. And I coached this one father who hadn't been home for dinner in a year. He started putting boundaries in place. He started, going back to the gym. He built systems that gave him back his evenings. Just his evenings were the first thing that we worked towards, getting those nights back. And he told me, Dan, it feels so good. And I finally became a man again, and I'm home again for my family. He goes, I didn't think I would ever know what that would feel like ever again. Another client of mine was terrified of leading his team. Absolutely terrified. He thought it mattered more than being respected was, letting people do what they wanted to do and not being the leader who was supposed to show up and lead by example. Now his company started doubling in revenue just over the last 12 months. He learned how to lead with strength, not fear. And now he's gained such a different level of respect from the people that are working with him day in and day out. This is what strong men do. They change every single thing they touch. So here's the message, right? Weak men destroy the world. Strong men rebuild it. You have to choose what it is you want to be, how it is you want to show up. And I can tell you right now that your family does not need another paycheck. I'm telling you that right now. They need your strength. Your team doesn't need another boss. You don't need bosses. Bosses fall apart in this world. People who call themselves the boss, lead like a boss, at the end of the day, never go out there and gain the respect or the leadership or ever build the businesses that they are capable of building because they title themselves the boss and not the leader. The leader inside of you needs to come out. Every single person around you, from your team, your business, your family, every single person who's connected from you needs to see your leadership, needs to see what you're doing. Your legacy doesn't need words, it needs action and what you're trying to leave and what you're trying to do. You have to start becoming the man the world needs versus just showing up to a world that's not going to do anything for you unless you fight against all the bad things going on, all the weak things going on, and you become the person of strength that you need to become to overcome and not just survive. So this week, I want to challenge you to do something hard. I want you to do something uncomfortable. Something that reminds you of what you're made of. Whatever that is. I don't know what that is. But I don't want you to chase comfort. I want you to chase growth. It's going to be hard. It's going to be painful. You're going to have to go after it no matter what it is, but you have to do it. Because remember, everything easy holds no value, but everything hard that you have to actually put time into, work, develop, become a better self, always has a better return. So if you're ready to take the next step and surround yourselves with, men, women who are building wealth, freedom, and legacy, here's where you start. Join the 7-figure Mastermind. New Jersey has only got 15 spots. Florida has 15 spots. Some of both have already taken memberships, and some clients have already registered. So not sure where we're at currently right now, but we're going to cap off at 15 for both locations. 1 year experience from men who want to grow their business and women who want to grow their business, mindset, brotherhood, connection, iron sharpening iron, and me teaching you the skills of how to go out there and build something of value and be the strongest person you can. I guarantee significant change in 12 months. Go to dansachkowsky.com or bigdcoaching.com. Wherever you need to go to input your information, get a hold of me and make sure that you get signed up for this mastermind. Also, if you're a business owner and you want one-on-one coaching, apply for the Build and Scale Syndicate. This is what I'm going to be focusing on 2026, bringing in individuals, helping them, people who are making $500,000+ a year, and they're ready to 3x growth their business, systematize their business, implement things in their business so that they're not the bottleneck of their business anymore. At the end of the day, you don't need another thing to run. You don't need another thing to do. You actually need to clear your plate. You need to be looking on the outside of your business and watching it operate without you doing every single thing, you making every phone call, you putting out every fire, every decision coming across your desk, and nothing can get done because you're not being attentive to it. That's not a way a business is ran. That's a over-engaged employee calling himself a business owner. Check out bigdcoaching.com. Check out dansachkowsky.com. Let me know how I can help. I want to throw it back to the sponsors here, the Big D Podcast. We have Get With Bam. We have all their products. We always have them here. We have their air freshener. We have Slick. We have a full array of products here on the desk. And incredible company, incredible products. So if you're like me and you respect your cars, you respect your toys, everything that you have, and you want to keep them clean to their highest quality, BAM has the best products on the market. You can use code BIGD10 and get a discount. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't enjoy the products, you don't think that they work better than anything else in the market, I'll personally refund you for anything that you purchase. You're going to thank me. You're not going to be disappointed, okay? Life Out There Apparel, Mark. He's been with us since the beginning of the Big D Podcast. Incredible individual. Every single month, he has a launch. So those of you who've been following me, you see that every month I'm wearing a new shirt, a new hat that he brings out to the marketplace, a story behind it, meaning behind it. Super powerful individual. Strong mission. I love Mark. Amazing dude. Lifeoutthereapparel.com. Use code BIGD10. Get a discount. Make sure you check them out. And Proud Father Apparel. Proud Father Apparel, love everything that they stand for. Love what they're doing. Love how they talk about the hardworking dad coming home and also, being there for his family. That's what it's all about. It's not about being the hardest worker in the room, making the most money, but not being there for the people that really matter. And their message is totally, totally strong. So check out proudfatherapparel.com and use code BIGD15 for a discount. Guys, also the charity you've seen here in the episode, Ability Tree, abilitytree.org, helping families impacted by disability. Go check them out. Shopabilitytree.org. Anything, any kind of donation. Guys, whatever you can do to help. It's like a cup of coffee. We ask for $1. We ask for $1 a day. We ask for whatever you can give. Every single dollar matters for what these guys are doing to families, helping families that are impacted by disability. So follow me on Instagram, guys. Big Dan Official, at Big Dan Official. That's my most active platform where you'll see me, where you'll connect with me, and where you'll message me, and I'll get right back to you. This is the Big D Podcast. I'm Dan Sachkowsky, Wealth Freedom, Relentless Execution, and I'll see you at the top.
Yo, Big D in the house, baby. Relentless execution, you already know. This is for the dream chasers, the grinders, the doers. Let's get it. Relentless execution, we don't ever stop. Climbing to the top, we rise like a rocket. Big D's the name, yeah, I'm running the game. From the ground up, now they all know the name. Big D. Started from the bottom, had a vision so clear. Building empires from the sweat and the tears. Serial entrepreneur, that's the brand I wear. In the game for the long haul, I'm always prepared. From the business to the podcast, always making moves. Every step calculated, never losing the groove. Study the greats, now I'm making my own rules. Success in my blood, ain't no way I'll lose. I got systems, got strategies, laid out the plan. Built a dynamic lifestyle, that's the Big D brand. Raised a family on vision, now I take a stand. Roadmap to success, it's in the palm of my hand. Relentless execution, we don't ever stop. Climbing to the top.